You want the guy who sounds like he dropped out of high school and has been living on a farm in the middle of nowhere and the only girl around is his sister. Hey, welcome to GT Canada. Today I want to give you some of the top tips that I use for snagging a good deal on a used car. I'm going to run through these real quick and tell you a little bit about them. I enjoy finding good deals on good cars, and it allows me to own a wide range of cars over the years without spending a lot of money. Now, typically my price range for a car is actually quite low. I'm usually looking, as you've already seen with our $500 car challenge, I try to find cars for $500 that I can buy, drive, enjoy, and then sell for a little bit of a profit, and then go back and buy another one and keep going. So most of the vehicles are something that you're going to be looking for on a tight budget, usually under $2,000. Now, how do you get a good deal on a car for under $2,000? Number one, you can't be specific about the type of vehicle you want. If you know that you want, for example, a Honda Civic, you are going to limit your options down to a very small market of cars, which means there's less opportunity for a good deal to be had. There might be a good deal on a Honda Civic, but you will only be looking for Honda Civics with good deals. Consider instead that you're looking for something like a Honda Civic. Well, what do you like about the Honda Civic that you're looking for? Is it small? Is it good on gas? Is it a 4-door? Is it a 2-door? Is it sporty but inexpensive? What are the features of the Civic that you like? And then consider expanding your search to include other cars that are like a Civic but are not a Civic. For example, Ford Focus, or a Nissan Sentra, or a Toyota Corolla. You know, something along those lines. If you would allow yourself to accept a broader range of cars, you can cast a wider net, which allows you to get more selection, and hence you will get a better price. Especially if you're looking for something very niche-y, something that there's not a lot for sale, but there's a lot of people looking for. You're looking for the low demand vehicle. That brings me into my next tip. Look for a vehicle that is in low demand. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're only looking for obscure cars that nobody wants to own. Vehicles can end up in low demand for a number of reasons. Being obscure can be one of them. Something else that happens, you're looking for cars that somebody has put in the wrong category. For example, you're looking for a 4-door, but somebody said that their car is actually a 2-door. So it's only going to show up in the 2-door category. But people that have filtered by a 2-door, they're not looking for a 4-door, so they're not going to email the guy about his 4-door car that's been miscategorized as a 2-door. If you keep that net really wide, you know you're only looking for a 4-door, but don't say in your filter criteria, only show me 4-doors, because you might find somebody who accidentally put a 4-door in as a 2-door. So you want to allow yourself to find 2-doors and 4-doors, and then just go through that way. You also want somebody who has no pictures or has really bad pictures, or when you look at the pictures, the car's dirty, maybe the pictures there's not a lot of pictures, or they're at bad angles. You could also look for like the inside. The inside's really dirty and the guy didn't take time to clean all the garbage out. That will make that car have low demand. If you're willing to look past that, you can get a really great deal on a car that just needs to be cleaned up. Look for cars that are like that. Maybe not as many people are looking for, and you yourself might want to turn your nose up at that car because it doesn't look quite right. But you can find a lot of really great gems from people who just don't know how to market their car well. Someone who knows how to clean their car, take good pictures, have a good description, they also are charging a lot of money for that because they know that they speak well, that they write well, that they have good pictures. You want the guy who sounds like he dropped out of high school and has been living on a farm in the middle of nowhere and the only girl around is his sister. You're looking for that guy who doesn't know how to use periods and punctuation, because his car's not necessarily bad, he just doesn't know how to market it, and therefore he can ask a lot, but he won't get a lot of people interested in that car. how much do you offer for the car? I typically, as a rule, will offer half to 2/3 of their asking price right off the bat. But I will not just send them a message and say, let's say they're asking $2,000. I will not just send a message and say $1,000, and that's it. That will not get you the car. What I do is I actually send a story about their car and about myself. And it's always a true story. I don't make up stories. I don't fabricate lies. I don't say, oh, this is for my mom. She only needs something reliable and cheap. She's in the hospital. She's on welfare. She can't afford a lot. You don't want to do that. Your integrity is worth more than that. The sellers will respect you when you're honest. So what I usually will say, hey, I'm looking for a car similar to the one that you have for sale. I am familiar with this model of car. Even if I'm not, I will get familiar with it. I will look up on Wikipedia about the car, do some research, figure out the things I should know before I go to buy it. But I say, look, I'm familiar with the car. I'm interested in a car like what you're selling. I have a limited budget and I know you're asking X number of dollars for your car. I'm prepared to pay, in this case, I'm prepared to pay $1,000. Now, if I know it's a low price, I will actually tell him, I'll say, look, I realize that this is a low offer. I understand that you want to get more money for it if possible. So if you want to take a few days to consider my offer and maybe see if a better offer comes in, I'm okay with that. But while you're thinking about it, please consider I am coming with cash. I am coming with a license plate and or a trailer so that I can take this car away, and I will buy the car as long as it is the way that you represent it in the ad. And then that leads me into my next question. I live a fair ways away from you. Can you tell me, would this car in its current condition make it from your house to X part of town or X city next door to your city or whatever? That gives them an opportunity to tell you if the car is drivable and if it works good or if there's any problems. Now, I finished the message out by saying, I hope to hear from you soon. Have a nice day. Done. Send it. And I'll just copy that message and then just paste it into every single ad that is up for a car that I would buy. That leads me to my next point. Whatever price you offer is the price you must pay. Do not offer him $1,000 and then get there and say, oh, well, actually, I'll give you 8. Don't do that. You've already made your offer. If he accepts it, you have to have every intention to follow through. Now, let's pretend the guy says yes. If the guy says yes, the next step is you need to close the deal quickly. Keep in mind, you just offered him half of what he was asking for the car and he said yes. If you wait 3 days, odds are somebody else will come along and offer him even $1,100 and he will sell it to that guy because it's $1,100. It's $100 more than you're paying him. So if he says yes, say, great. What time are you available? I can be there tonight at this time or tomorrow at this time, and go with cash and do what you said you'd do. Buy his car, bring it home. It means you take a chance. Yes, you might get stuck with a lemon, but that's where your price that you offer has to factor that in. How much risk are you willing to take on that car for the price that you're willing to offer? So you need to be very, very real on your price. If you're not sure how to be real on your price, just imagine that he accepts the number that you're about to offer him. Are you going to actually get up, go and buy the car, or are you going to say, I'll just kind of keep that on the back burner, I don't really want the car? Then that's not your number. Your number's actually lower. If he says yes, you need to be excited that he accepted your offer and do whatever it takes to go there and get that car. Doing this strategy, you will have a lot of people say, no, get lost, loser, you're such a scumbag, lowballing me, whatever. That's fine. And you need to accept that that's going to happen. What you do, and what I do, when somebody says no way, or it doesn't matter what they say, I reply back with, hey, thanks for your time. I totally understand. I wish you all the best on your sale. If you do change your mind and decide to consider my offer, please let me know. And I leave it in their hands. You will not believe how many times somebody has come back a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later and has said, hey, actually, is your offer still available? Because I might consider that now. I will often go through my messages from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. See if the ad's still up. If the ad is still up, I'll send them a message. Hey, I reached out to you 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. Just checking if you might be more receptive to my offer now. I'm still interested in your car if you're willing to sell it to me. Hope to hear back from you. Have a nice day. Just always be friendly. Don't be short. Be specific to the guy. So if you follow these tips, you too can snag some very good deals. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out some of my other videos over here and consider subscribing to the channel for other great videos as they come out. See you again.